Hi, my name is Thomas, aka MrWartburg, and this is the 27th episode of the MrWartburg Show. I had originally filmed this episode in my dad's shop where I did a little woodworking project for today's video. Unfortunately, the audio was kind of shit because I was using my lapel and wasn't with all my equipment, so I couldn't really tell on site how the audio was, which was my fault. So I'm having to re-record it, though at least the second time around I'll have a better handle on, the things I want to talk about. Now, for the focus of today's video, it's mostly going to be about the fact that I am at least doing, or was a part of a charity stream that is ongoing at the time of this uploading, which is to help out Audrey, a friend of mine, who has, between her and her husband, organized quite a few different charity streams the last 18 months that I'm aware of, and I've been a part of 3 of them. And they've done a lot of good for various different individuals and organizations, charitable or medical research, things like that. And they're having some issues, so a bunch of us in the Rooster Teeth community, spearheaded by Fly and Raph, as well as a few others, are coming together to do a 24-hour charity stream on 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Central Standard Time on the 11th, so this will probably already be done by the time you're watching this, mostly because it's so damn hot in my apartment that I don't have air, so I'm just being really lethargic and lazy this weekend, because it's like 90-something degrees and I don't have air. Oh my god, it's hot. But anyway, focus on today's video. Like I said, it's the stream. So one of the things I'm doing for my section of the stream is I don't know if it's going to be $10 or $15 donation, is entered into a raffle, which at the end of the stream will collect all those names, get a random name or number generator, and boom, we're going to raffle off this guy. Which, if you can't tell, is a big tower of Pimps. And just to get a better look at it, I'm going to move the mic closer. What? Am I still in frame? Maybe. I'll just widen my legs. This is a 16 and 3/4 inch actually, Tower of Pimps. It's made out of a cored out, planed down 4x4 that I cut into 5 separate cubes. As you can see, it's all the way to the base, except for the bottom, which is solid. It was cheap, pretty cheap, 2x4, bottle of Menards for or 4x4, sorry. Bottle of Menards for about $9. Paint was like $2, and I had to buy a new hole saw, but I don't count that in the cost of it because I would have had to buy it whether it was this project or another project, so that's not included in the cost of this. So I made this guy for a grand total of like $11, $12, and what I did was, like I said, I bought a 4x4, and being cheap wood, it's actually 3.5 by 3.5, for those of you who don't really know a lot about woodworking, but what I did was, since it was cheap wood, and there's a lot of knots and different dents and stuff, you had to kind of cut around and pick your spots in the wood or what you're going to work with. And it was late in the day when I bought it, so I didn't have a lot of time in the store to go through and, I want this piece and this piece and this piece. Plus, I was using my small car because my brother didn't want to let me borrow the truck, so it barely fit in my car, my little 2-door, because the seats could fold down, and I slid it up to about 2 inches away from the radio. I even had to lift it up and rest it on my the gear column, which was just a lot of fun for the half-hour ride home. After I got the individual pieces cut, into workable solutions, what I did was actually go plane it down into a little bit less than 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, making sure it's square on each, equal on each side. Then I cut them into the just under 3.5 inch to keep them cubes. And after that was done, cored them out using a 2.5 inch hole saw, which I went with 2.5 inches to keep some room to glue around the outside of the system so they could all stick together. Then once they were individually cut, went to my grandma's, had them painted, used a base bright yellow with a little bit of a deeper yellow for the outside. I even got a little bit of the splotch in the bottom right corner that you see in the game. And for the base, I wanted to get it a little rough because it's supposed to be ore in the game. What I ended up doing was spackle on the outside, but for future ones I'm probably going to use maybe some bed liner or notch out the individual wood, or maybe get something else. My brother gave me a few different ideas to go with. But all in all, after getting them glued together and set, everything turned out pretty good. I'm going to have to touch it up a bit more before I ship it to whoever wins the raffle, because some of the stuff came off on the base because they only gave it the one coat. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty well. So that's, outside of talking about the stream, which at the time of this recording we're at $385, which is about, I think, just about a quarter of the way, more like a fifth of the way towards the goal, give or take. And I'm hopeful by the time this is up, we'll actually have hit the goal, which will be linked in the description below if it's still live when you watch it. So that's the video. Drop a like if you're feeling like the video is worth it, and definitely hit that subscribe to stay up to date with all my latest videos, and I'll see you next week.